Hey, you! You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed because you're an untouchable success. To support us and gain access to great exclusive shows like our brand new Supernatural watch-along Himboos, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You'll also get your lucky little mitts on hundreds of episodes of our other exclusive shows like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, and the complete series of Fox Mulder is a Maniac. We do movie nights, game streaming, regular mini-series and surprise shows, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want, within reason. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by heading to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed. Probably don't need help with that word.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I was sitting there in the theater counting up the years. I hadn't realized how long it had been since the first one.
I know. It was nice to see Satan again.
Yeah, it's nice to see him. He's looking good. He looks good.
He does. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And we just watched Ready or Not, Here I Come.
You can't hide. I'm gonna find you and take it
Keep going,
slowly.
keep going. I love this song.
It's a good song.
You've caused quite a stir, Mrs. Ladomus. You married into that family. Now they're dead. What you didn't know is that this goes far beyond them. By surviving hide and seek, you've triggered a new game. This time against the High Council families. Double or nothing. This part will be familiar. They will try to kill you.
Welcome to our home.
It's all many, many times throughout the movie. This song has popped into my head.
They didn't play the song, did they?
They don't. No, they don't. I think they know that might be too much, yeah.
Yeah, I will say, even Ready or Not, Here I Come, I was like, when I heard that title first, I was like, oh, so she's going to be like, I'm on the hunt now, I'm hunting you. And that they don't do that. They just were like, we can't not call it Here I Come.
We can't not call it that, yeah. We're not going to make the mistake that Now You See Me made.
Exactly.
We can't be those people.
Yeah.
We can't carry that shame.
This is Radio Silence again.
Uh-huh.
I assume it's the same crew,
people,
same group. It's if you haven't seen Ready or Not 1, you probably
did we say who we were?
Honestly.
And what this movie was? Oh, we did.
Yeah, we did that.
We did. Yeah, I sang.
Yeah, you sang. We're a week behind. Like They Will Kill You is out.
It's already
this
out
weekend,
this week. Yeah, so we're gonna have to see that.
We're gonna cover it
next week. Yeah.
But we're now getting competing versions of these movies.
Yes. Of Eat the Rich, hide and seek murder movies.
Well, I have a phrase for these now. Uh-huh. And how many of these do we have? So there's You're Next is like the first one I recall.
With the Eat the Rich bent to it. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I guess I was thinking Young Lady is hunted and fights back, which we've been doing for quite some time, but this is like distilled down to. I'll just come out with it. I'm calling this Die Hard horror, this genre.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
and
she's very John McClane in this one. I love the way she plays it in this one.
Well, I had a realization watching this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make Die Hards anymore. And not just Die Hards, but Under Sieges. You know, like Die Hard was a specific action genre.
Yeah.
Wrong man, or like you fucked with the wrong person or wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time, yeah.
Group of terrorists are like greedy and they're trying to do or
one person against overwhelming odds.
Yeah, and the group is like the bad guys have a mini boss usually. They're doing a heist, they're doing terrorism, they have a goal, they betray each other. There's one bad guy. And that was a genre in the 80s and in the 90s, and I've realized it just ported over to this. It's still alive and well, this mid-budget action. It's just become a horror genre.
Yeah, we just emphasized the violence and made it horror. You're right.
Right. What does she want the whole movie?
A cigarette. That is John McClane.
what is her arc, her relationship, an estranged family member
Yeah.
that she reunites with.
That she's the Holly in this situation, though, sort of. She moves to pursue an opportunity and leaves her sister behind.
Yeah. It just occurred to me watching this, like, oh, we're just doing this is an action film.
Yeah, that hadn't occurred to me, but now that you say it, that really clicks, particularly when she's fighting Batmanuel's daughter, the other bride. Like, that scene is very John McClane.
Yeah, there's mini bosses.
They're mini bosses, yeah.
The villains screw each other over. It's about greed. It's about, like, it's a heist, essentially, or power grab.
Yeah.
And I just think back, You're Next, you remember the experience of watching that, going like, oh, this is going to be like a house invasion horror movie, and then it's like, surprise, it's a Die Hard.
Yeah.
And now this weekend we have They Will Kill You, where even in the ads they're like, it's a Die Hard. Like, we're just
Yeah.
they're not even hiding it.
Right, that one, I'm excited to see that one.
Me too.
Just because they're even more so emphasizing she is not the person to be fucked with.
Yeah. It is
Samara
just...
Weaving's character in Ready or Not is a person who... They Will Kill You looks closer to, like, You're Next, who it's like, oh, you picked specifically the wrong person to fuck with.
Yeah. Someone who's like, absolutely,
Yeah.
But it just occurred to me, like, this isn't really... this isn't a slasher horror, in my opinion. This isn't.
It's closer to a slasher horror as categorized in a horror movie, but you're right, it is more like an action movie. They just sort of emphasize the violence more. And in this one, you're right, it's much more action movie violence in this one. Like, I was going to say, one of the things I was going to flag about the differences between this and the previous one is this one's not as gory, in my opinion, or at least not as...
It didn't feel as gory, you're right.
It didn't feel as, like that was, it didn't feel as gory.
Well, the first one
that
felt
may or
like
may not be accurate.
I remember, like, that scene in the barn. There's parts in that are more horror. In this, it was like, this isn't a hit against the movie because I don't think this was their goal. I was like, well, I'm not scared in any given moment of this movie. There's parts that are intense.
No, but there's tense. There's tension,
yeah,
for
there's
sure.
Scary characters.
Yeah.
But
fucking Stan from The Faculty. My
I know.
God.
That's the other part that this bummed me out, and not because of the movie's fault, where it was like fucking Sarah Michelle Gellar, Elijah Wood, two faculty members, and I'm like, God, I remember when these people were young, and I was young.
None of the old guys. We haven't said how we felt about this movie.
It's almost irrelevant. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. I enjoyed it more than I expected to. I was honestly, like, pleasantly surprised because I was expecting more of the same. And there's a bit of that, but I like how different this one was. Yes.
Well, yeah. I guess you're right, because I haven't seen the original in a bit, so, like, I don't remember how similar it is. I know, obviously, Satan, they do similar beats.
Right. They're similar beats, but, like, for instance, the Eat the Rich critique is even expounded upon. It's not the same critique. It's expanded upon a little bit. And, like, they blow up the universe a little bit. It's like, well, this wouldn't be the only family that made a deal with the devil. And then, like, it's not just hide and seek. She's handcuffed to another person. And then, like... It reminded me a little bit of the difference between Hostel and Hostel 2, regardless of how you feel about those movies.
Sure.
But it was like, oh, it could have just done the same thing with just new characters again, but it's like, oh, let's blow the world out some more and make it kind of different in a way that you might not have been. Like, at least I wasn't totally expecting the way that they did this movie.
It's almost like if, like, the first movie took place in a building, the second could take place in, like, an airport, and then the third could take place in New York City.
Yeah.
And there's even the "you killed my brother" aspect of the scorned ex-wife. Sorry, I'm going to keep hammering that home just because the more I think about the movie, and it's not a critique against the movie, but I do think they sat down and went like, let's watch Die Hard. And let's think about, like, some things we can do that are like action beats. In this, because it expands out. I was actually hoping it'd be bigger, but Ready or Not 3. You know, let's keep it going.
Give it somewhere to go.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I wasn't expecting it to be. I was expecting to have fun, and you're right. Is that I think it is ultimately better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be bad though.
No.
I know what you mean. Where I was like, oh, they're going to chase her again. It's going to be the same fucking thing again.
You know, we'll have a couple of fun new gags, but it'll basically be the same thing. But no, they have there's a Cronenberg, Dave. There's a
fucking
Cronenberg. Just right there.
He just pieces out right at the beginning.
Yeah, he does.
I love Cronenberg's. The difference between the movies he'll be in versus the movies he'll make.
Yeah.
Like he's clearly a horror fan.
Yeah.
But he's more of a slasher horror fan. Like he doesn't. He doesn't
like
seem like he might.
Nightbreed and Jason X and this movie.
I don't know if it's just funny because it's almost like I wonder if Cronenberg enjoys body horror. Like he might not enjoy his own genre as much as he enjoys like silly slasher movies, and I appreciate that.
You talk to him, he doesn't know what body horror is.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I just say my truth, man.
Yeah, I'm just living my truth. This is just what's in my heart.
It was a delight to see him.
Yeah, he was great. Where he just is like, he just has them suffocate him or smother him. Get on with it.
Yeah, because the whole thing's about loopholes. There's a big thing thread throughout. I love Elijah Wood, and this is perfect.
He's so good. I love that he's the devil's lawyer, and he never gets a name.
Yes, and
He's just the lawyer.
So I think this is my favorite thing about this movie that is better than the first movie. I might say that I like this movie more than the first movie, but I'm not sure if that's true. I'd have to watch them back to back.
They feel distinct enough to me, but yeah, I do want to watch the first one again now that I've seen this one.
There's a delightful array of conflicting, but not even conflicting, just various motivations of all the characters.
Yeah.
And where it's like some of them are in direct competition with each other. Some of them are in a family competition where there's like rivalries within rivalries. Some people don't give a shit. There are people who have no dog in the fight, which is why I love Elijah Wood, is like he doesn't care ultimately what happens.
No.
He seems generally amused by the outcomes and like he's just kind of like having a good time. But
Go, please finish your thought.
Oh, I just like having a character there who's like, I am the rules. Yeah. And I don't care about any of you. And I will simply be here to tell you the rules. Satan's going to enforce the rules. I'm just telling you what they are.
Right. I'm basically the rule book, essentially.
Yeah.
It's because, at the end of the day, I guess any and all chaos pleases the Dark Lord, right? Like the ending of this movie with all of his followers eating each other to get the big seat at the table. What would delight Satan more?
Yeah.
So
this is there's two types. I feel like there's two types of Satans in movies. There's the kind where you're like, yeah, he's kind of fun. Yeah. And then the kinds where you're like, this is really
not
Satan,
fun. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
not fun.
Where it's like, yeah, I imagine if you met Satan, you'd be like, oh, that guy sucks. Like, and this is like cool Satan, who's like, yeah, he's evil, but he's also like, yeah, fuck these rich guys.
It's the whole idea is tempting evil people into dicking themselves over.
Right, and Satan likes any outcome.
Any outcome that, So basically, that's what you like. So Elijah Wood's character is that. Like you said, he seems genuinely delighted by each outcome.
Right. Yeah, I think it's just like tedium where it breaks it. I guess the rule of Satan, you could argue, is he just wants as many souls as he can get. And this is the outcome that gets him the most. Like, same with the first one, right? Is like, oh, if I get to take everyone, that's great. You know? Like, that's good for me.
Yeah, everything's coming up me.
Yeah, yum, yum, yum. And if this one lady gets away, so be it. That's fine.
I care.
You know?
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, like you were pointing out all the conflicts within families and conflicts within conflicts, and that was sort of related to what I was talking about, how it expands on like the Eat the Rich critique, where you have all these different motivations, whereas in the first one it's pretty focused on, we want to stay within this family because this family has all the money, and it's it's basically, but it's also about broader power, and it's not just about money or power. It's also about there's different dynamics in play that are sort of like the lady with her son, where she's like, oh, it's not so bad being part of the satanic council. Just if you marry my son, it's a loophole. You won't have to die, and he's not the worst guy. He'll leave you alone. So it's playing with that idea in the first one of Adam Brody, the one brother who's not into it,
right?
And sort of like, kind of, I like that it wasn't just the same. Oh, here's a bunch of greedy characters. Like there's a little bit more depth and.
Yeah, I do like that they're all kind of afflicted by wealth.
Yes, they've all been poisoned by it.
Yeah, where it's sort of. It kind of reminds me of The Good Place, which I won't spoil any of that show, but that idea that like essentially that rich people hit a point. I mean, watching Succession and like what very little interactions I've had with actual people who are like insanely wealthy, where it's like you lose something, which is weird because it's like. You lose something in the sense that it's like, well, I can't really interact with most regular people. And then on top of that, all I can interact with is other rich people. And all rich people really...
sociopaths.
Yeah, and all they really have is like what their possessions versus other people's possessions. So it's like get a bunch of rich families together. This idea of like... Well, all they are is in direct competition. All they can think about is what they have versus what other people have.
Right. They're fighting over degrees of absolute power. Like they all have it. And it's just Cronenberg is the one who can pick up the phone and demand a ceasefire, and it happens immediately. Sorry. What
and like, oh no, I don't need to defend rich people, but I'm sure there are complexities where it's like, I'm sure there are rich people who know how to fucking party and hang out and be cool. Sure. But this is like distilling the sickness of being rich and the thing of like
this movie is not commenting on those people.
Yeah,
really, for the most part.
And again, it's like whatever, they're fine.
Yeah,
those people are the people we don't hear about probably.
Yeah. But you're right. It reminded what you were saying. I totally agree with. It's definitely what the movie is about. And it reminded me of when we had the conversation, I guess it was 2 years ago now, because it was right before Ava was born, with the director of How to Rob a Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Where he was talking about how once you break the law, like once you decide to become a criminal, you sort of condemn yourself to a life alone. Because you have to limit the number of people you interact with in order to not get caught until your personal sphere becomes smaller and smaller and smaller until you're just in a very bad echo chamber. And it's ironically, this is a criminal we're talking about, but it seems like the same thing is the affliction of the wealthy, right?
Right. And for the record, we're talking about like a major crime, not like downloading a movie, but yes.
Oh no, this guy was
shoplifting. Yeah, where it's like the moment you do a crime that you need to get away with, like that you need people to not know.
Right. The subject of this film is a
bank robber.
Bank robber, as the title suggests. So
how that shrinks your life in this weird. Yeah, you're right. Well, that's the thing is like rich people start getting, because this is the thing is like. You can't interact with the rest of the world because the rest of the world, you hear those stories like George Clooney bought all of his friends' motorcycles because they couldn't afford them. Where it's like rich people, if you want to have like friends who aren't rich people, like you have to kind of do that shit. Like we had this is my father. Did a job where he interacted with very rich people a lot, and there'd literally be conversations where a guy would be like, "Hey, you want to go to France?" And my dad would be like, "I can't." It's like, let's go to France this weekend. Yeah, and it's like, and then even if it's like, I'll pay you to go to France, it's like, still can't. I have a job, I have a life. Where it's like that, it's like an alien. It's like talking to a fucking alien, right? Where it's like, they have this level of freedom that most people don't. So you become isolated from just like most people, and you can either become, I imagine, jilted and sad, or you have to like tell yourself you're better than them. You have to go like, those are all the NPCs, and me and my rich friends, we're the real like elite.
We are the 16 real people on this planet.
Exactly. Yeah, and so like, yeah, it just slowly isolates you until you get into this weird little cult. Like it must be like this, where it's, it's a Christmas Adventurers Club. It's the same difference.
Yeah,
it's like their weird little Satan club. I love, by the way, the really great. This is great storytelling.
Fucking Christmas Adventure.
Yeah, amazing storytelling in this. Is they show Cronenberg, who is top dog, and he's watching a war, and he just picks up the phone and goes, do a ceasefire, and then they announce
Breaking
a
news,
ceasefire. Yeah, and I was like, what a great quick way to show that this guy is simply running the world. He just stops a war.
Yeah,
with one phone call.
The 2 scenes he's in are really good.
Yeah.
So kudos on getting Cronenberg and getting all the Cronenberg. He like acts.
Yeah.
He shows up.
He shows up.
It's not just him, a cameo where he gets scorpioned like in Jason X.
Yeah.
Like he plays a role
it's still
in this film.
kind of that.
It's basically that, but he plays like a role and he gets to like,
I wouldn't be surprised if they paid him in that painting of him that they use.
That rad painting, yeah.
Yeah. If I were him, I would simply accept the painting. It's like a day's work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd take that painting. What do you need to scratch for? Your David Cronenberg. But
exactly.
Like they have the one scene where he calls in a ceasefire, and then he has his children summoned, and he tells them, okay, our big seat is now in play because this has happened, so you know what you have to do. And then he has his kids kill him. So, like, he has his kids murder him in order to preserve their family's seat of power. So those are the 2 things we get about his. It's big character things.
The rule is that whoever's in charge of each family has to do the hunt, and he's old and sick. So the idea is he's having them kill them to get around that.
Yep.
It's a loophole.
Yep.
It's all about, again, these like weird loopholes, like tax loopholes with the rich. That idea of like, everything's like this dumb by the book situation where she at the end uses it against them, which is a fun idea. Like they do a good job with that, where one of the ladies is like, yeah, marry my son. We don't have to. You don't really understand why she's doing that, and you don't really need to know. It doesn't, like whatever. She
wants the high seat.
Oh yeah, she gets power that way.
Yeah,
and she thinks this is the easy way to do it.
Yeah,
yeah. She clearly is that they struggle with this idea within the family, which is interesting because Sarah Michelle Gellar is this, and that lady is that, which is that the Satanists are like, but we're not bad people. Like some of them are like that. They're just like, no.
It's part of that broader critique of Eat the Rich, where it's like you end up following the money because you have to survive, and then at some point you're just following the money, but you're still telling yourself the same thing. Well, I'm not that bad. I'm just like Sarah Michelle Gellar literally says we're in a system. Like there's nobody good or bad. We're just in a system and we have to follow the rules. We just have to go, everything flows in one direction. We have to go that direction. But at some point you just become, you're just following the money.
Because they've made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And that's the idea is like Sarah Michelle Gellar, you kind of understand, or all the rich people, you kind of understand to some extent that they're like, I'm going to explode if I don't do this. Obviously, they're the villains and they're bad people. But in the moment, you know why none of them are going to change their minds, ultimately. Like, I guess the happy ending is her and Sarah Michelle Gellar could get married. And then chill. But yeah, that doesn't work out for them.
No, I think we got the happy ending.
I genuinely, obviously spoilers, Sarah Michelle Gellar, it didn't click in my head that she might get killed. And they do a really good job with the pit. The pit. What's his name?
Stan from the Faculty.
Stan from Faculty.
No.
Him just becoming like asshole brother to then like beating the shit out of her sister. To like, oh yeah, to then choking his own sister to death to this full evil turn.
Breaks her neck.
Good progression.
It's a brutal scene.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of mirrored the scene in the previous one where she has that conversation with Andy McDowell.
I forgot Andy McDowell.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, the first one rocks.
Yeah.
But obviously it's a much, much darker outcome in this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that
It was
intense.
good because they were setting up this idea. Like, I liked that the movie, it's not there to try to surprise you, but that was a genuine moment where the whole time I'm like, they're building up Sarah Michelle Gellar having like a turn and doing something. And then they just cut her off. They just go like, nah, you're dead. You're out of here.
She
And I
does
liked
kind of
that.
have her turn. It's where she makes that
does.
desperate plea to
But
Samara
it's a
Weaving.
sad turn.
It is.
Like,
It's a sad
Yeah.
turn. It's a disappointing turn.
like it's not a heroic turn where I thought because they were doing the rules of like, you know, oh, if you like, again, they do a great, I do really like this movie and how it's built because they set up a bunch of rules. They go like, okay, if you do this, this happens. If you do this, this happens. And then
Give you
let's
a
go
couple
do
of
it.
possible ways it could go. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like they do all the combinations where you're sitting there waiting like, okay, how is one
Yeah.
of them going to accidentally
Which one of
kill
these is going to work? Yeah.
the other? Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
say like, if any of the families accidentally kill the other families, pop goes the weasel, and then they work it out where the woman with the sword she accidentally stabs,
Batman well.
the mayor from Batman,
from Batman. Yeah. Nestor Carbonell.
who's great. Everybody's doing a thing. in
Everybody's
this.
killing it. Yeah. I always remember his line from the Tick animated live action series where he said, "I'd sex with you
yeah.
plenty of times. I never died."
Yeah. This is one of those movies where they're like, you can see why everybody's in it.
Yeah.
Even poor Kevin Durant, where it's like everybody
We
gets
got
something
more
to do.
Kevin Durant than I was expecting.
Yeah,
And he
that's
has
true.
one of the best lines in the movie. "Bessie, get my knives." And he does a bump of coke off his hand.
He makes it fucking work for him. He's like, I'm in how many scenes? All right, these are gonna be loud scenes.
Yeah. Well, you know they like him because he was in what was it
Oh,
called?
they
The
love
vampire
him.
one right before
He's
this.
their Bruce Campbell. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's in all their shit.
Yeah. Was he in the first Freddy or not?
I don't know.
But he was definitely. Wow, damn it! Why can't I remember the vampire? Anyway, he was in the vampire one. But anyway,
Abigail.
Abigail. That's right.
Took me a second. I like Abigail a lot. I like that. Like they make these movies that are like, they aren't unpredictable in the sense like they're not trying to make like Barbarian where you're like, what the fuck? But they have enough twists and turns where like they distract me long enough where they like, you know, the lady in this going like, if you marry somebody and then she dies, and I think like, oh, that's going to be a plot point.
And you kind of
then
forget
they
about
distract me. They jangle keys enough where then when it comes back, you do a lot of like, oh right, like, and same with Abigail, where there's a lot of like, this is where a weaker movie would simply end, but no,
Right. Well,
here's more.
I can't remember if they did it in Abigail, but like one thing they do here is they trick you into thinking that it's been resolved already, because
Yeah.
she's like the woman comes up with she's like, if you marry my son, you'll get out of it, but then she kills Batman and then she and her son both explode. So you kind of think like, well, that moving on. So
Right.
you're not like expecting necessarily waiting for that to come back up again because it feels like it's been resolved already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
when she brings it back and she's like, no, wait. If I marry you, Stan from the pit,
Pit stand.
Stan. I also I would even go so far as to say there's a couple of lines where they set up the fact that his character's name is Titus, I think, the brother, is going to be like the actual big threat. They could have even removed those lines because it's clear in the performance and in the scenes.
Oh yeah, but
Like you can kind of tell, oh, this guy's going to
the-
fucking crack.
yeah, on the page, I'm sure it's like, well, we have to make this obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Like that is.
Because there's a definite escalation in each time. Like as she's scolding him, he gets more defiant until he finally slaps her in that one
Right.
scene when he's beating up Catherine Newton. It's like, so we really didn't need other characters to be like, you got to watch out for
No.
Titus. He's really crazy. It's like, no, we see that he's really crazy.
Yeah. The structure's interesting, by the way, because at the time, I don't think this is true anymore, but at the time, they do the part where she's fighting. Like, did you get the sense that there was a draft where Sarah Michelle Gellar was the person who was going to marry, with like the character who's like, I was going to marry that guy, the scorned ex-wife? Like, that seems like something that they would give to Sarah Michelle Gellar's character,
Maybe.
because then it makes the you have two bad guys, right? And it's personal, et cetera, et cetera. And then they do that scene where, the sister is fighting Stan Pitt, and then she's fighting the ex-fiance. And I was like, oh, this is like the big bad fight sequence. But Sarah Michelle Gellar is nowhere to be seen. That's where I felt like, oh, I guess there's more movie that I'm not thinking about, because it does pay off in the end where you're like, well, that wasn't actually it.
Yeah.
But they do the thing where they cut back and forth.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, shouldn't she be fighting Sarah Michelle Gellar here? It was like my thought at first of like.
Well, they do an interesting balance between it too as the scene progresses, because Samara Weaving starts winning her fight very decidedly, whereas Catherine Newton starts losing it very badly.
Yes,
So it's like we're
which is a
cutting
cool
back and
idea.
forth between Samara Weaving beating the shit out of somebody and like walking away cool, and then it's just her sister getting stomped into the earth.
Yeah. The pepper spray, by the way.
That's funny. I like the
Yeah.
opening move where she's hi cunt, bye
Yeah.
cunt, and shoots the rocket launcher the wrong way.
Backwards. Yeah.
That was such a good build too. Like you see her carrying the case around, you're like, what's in that case?
Yeah.
And she pulls it out. It's a bazooka. That was fun.
Same with the pepper spray, because I was like, I'm really a big fan of
Of a plant and payoff.
well, Chekhov's gun
Yeah.
that doesn't fire, essentially, where it's like, oh, we're going to do the work to be like, hey, look, there's some pepper spray. And I'm
Chekhov's
thinking
gun.
like, oh, that's how she's going to get away at the end. No, they just burn the pepper spray. They just waste it on a comedic beat. And I always love that.
That they yeah, she sprays.
spray
They
each
spray
other.
each other with it. Yeah, it's
They're
really
just
funny.
swinging at nothing. Yeah, it's a good
Total
use
Eclipse
shit
of the
like
Heart
that.
playing. Let's
Yeah.
bring that back.
Yeah. you
I did the
gotta-
math in the theater. It's been 23 years since Old School, Dave.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's, wait, 23?
2003.
That is depressing.
That's when Old School came out.
I also thought about that. Seeing it
It's at
old
the
school.
right? Yeah, because he did that band came back in a couple of Todd Phillips movies.
They did.
I
They were one of
fucking
those
need
bands-
you more than ever.
It's one of those bits that like
It's a great bit. I was looking for him
Yeah.
in Joker.
it's one of those weird bits where it was like, I know what you're doing, and it's weird. I'm not getting sick of this. Like I feel like I
It's too
should be
funny.
getting sick of this.
It's
but
too
just
funny.
slipping f-bombs into romantic ballads.
It's too funny.
It's funny. It's a funny thing to do.
It's just funny.
Yeah. It's like John Benjamin's jazz album where he doesn't know how to play
The sound of
piano.
my tears. Fucking every now and then.
Just okay, you got one joke, you're doing it over and over again, and I'm laughing every time. Fuck me, I guess. Like, I'm the
I
asshole.
guess I'll go fuck myself, huh? Oh, mahalo.
Shit.
Oh,
All right.
man.
I have this isn't a critique, but I will say there is one character dynamic in this that I didn't need. It doesn't hurt the movie. I didn't need the shit between the sisters as
I was
much.
about to guess the sister.
Yeah. Of all the things, the two main characters, naturally you want to give them something.
Yeah,
And I'm not against that. It's almost as if a guy teams up, like a cop teams up with a guy, and they're constantly
Who doesn't
fighting
like
while
him?
fighting.
Yeah.
In the sequel, you got to add someone. You got to add a sidekick.
Yeah.
The basic idea of like, okay, they were foster kids. Foster kids?
They were
They
foster
had foster
kids.
parents. And then she fucked off to New York, and I can see that abandonment, how much that would hurt, yada, yada, yada. That's a cool idea. But then it feels like they make up and then they get mad again, and then they make up and they get mad again. Like it's sort of like whenever they need the extra drama, and there's kind of a pattern for a little bit where it's like action scene, oh, you're hurt. Let's go sit down and talk about our characters.
Yeah.
Action scene, oh, you're hurt. Okay, let's go sit down and talk about our characters some more. And it felt like it was like a little too stagnant where it like didn't progress. And I don't know, personally, they're going to make up. So I have that feeling of like, just have them make up halfway point. And then that's that, where it's like, there's enough shit that they're dealing with. they don't have to deal with the conflict between them. They can say like,
Yeah.
you know, fuck it, I forgive you. let's kill these rich honkies.
Yeah, I appreciated that they made it frustrating. Like,
Yeah.
like they made Catherine Newton's character be a little frustrating. Because you got to remember she's supposed to be, she's like 20. She's supposed to be very young, like newly out on her own. And it's just like, it's the sort of resentment that a young person would hold on to. It's kind of like she's mad. Like you find out like Samara Weaving moved away for a scholarship, and Catherine Newton's character was 15 at the time and wanted to move out with her to New York, and she was like, no, absolutely not, because of course not.
Right.
I can't go to school and take care of my teenage sister at the same time. So she stops talking to Samara Weaving for years and years, like, and that's kind of it. Like that's where it's been left.
And it reflects what's going on. It's
Yeah.
about survival. It's about, you know, like what makes us different than them, et cetera, et cetera. They're all
Yeah.
out for each other, including their own siblings. Like they do the thing where, yeah, we have the evil siblings and then we have our main siblings and how they reflect each other. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't think it shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
I
agree
sorta.
that it kind of, it did seem like maybe one or two scenes could have been combined there.
Yeah.
Like we didn't need to keep hitting it if it wasn't going to move, because there's not much to the conflict, like I just explained.
Right. And every movie, it's funny how like it's an action movie thing. Is like it's not enough that the character's arc can just be, I need to get out of this. There has to be something that, you know, and this is a rule of screenwriting, and it's good that we have it, which is like everybody has their own journey. So I know the instinct of like, well, we can't have them make up and then nothing, you know, like no internal conflict.
Yeah.
But I personally, I'm like, there's enough external conflict happening
Right.
that like,
We're being hunted by maniacs right now.
yeah. So I could see a little lighter touch. I feel like they needed to get them. They go to the wedding. They go to the wedding ballroom, and they need them to separate there. And there really is no good way for two characters in that situation to separate. You know what I mean? Where it's like you have to do some real sweaty work to have them agree to go like, I'll go do this, you do that. Mm-hmm. You know, you could have them be separated by force, and they have it so that they like fight and one of them storms off. But that's where it was like a little much for me, where I'm just like, we're really going to fight? We're really going to fight right now, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Again, it's not really, I have no deep or like big, I have no substantial criticisms for this movie because it gives you exactly what you want, mm-hmm. and it all serves that in a way that's fun. So it's like, great, we separated them so we can have this awesome sequence, you know?
Yeah. It made enough sense, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, it's like, yeah, I guess my thought is like, well, if it's just that we want to get this cool sequence going, I don't know.
I also appreciate that it doesn't last long.
No, it doesn't.
Like Catherine Newton storms off, and then she's in the hallway kind of right outside and kind of stops and sighs and turns around to go back, and then Stan appears.
Yeah.
So it's like, it feels like realistic. That's like, because they get into a fight, they're yelling at her. She's like, fine, fuck you. And she walks off. And it's like, where am I going? You know, so they make it believable enough, I suppose, in the movie that it works.
It's tough because they need to separate them
Mm-hmm.
and also make both of them unaware of what's happening to the other.
Yeah.
So where it's like you can't simply have the guy come in and like grab her. They also need the bad guys unaware of where the other one is. Mm-hmm. So like, they have to have her storm off long enough to be away from her. It's fine. Again, it's fine. It's just that sort of thing where when you watch enough movies, it's sort of like, it's one of those things where like when you watch enough romantic comedies where you're like, just tell them the truth. You know, that feeling.
Yeah, just sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah, where you're like, but then there wouldn't be a movie, so they have to do the thing.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
Half of Spider-Man's conflicts with his villains.
Oh yeah, a lot of superhero ones where you're like, just say
you're sorry, man.
yeah, just say you're sorry and tell your friends that you're the superhero. When they're like, you're always late to things, just be
I'm
like, I'm a
Spider-Man.
superhero.
I'm Spider-Man.
It's
I'm
fine.
fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But we were talking about, like, we were just pointing out they play Total Eclipse of the Heart. That's one of the ways they have it so that she can't hear her sister getting her ass beat out in the hallway.
Yeah.
They find ways to do it so you don't notice it as much, for sure.
I think I was bummed because it felt like they wrapped it up really fast, their conflict. And I've just realized, so I've been watching the show Paradise, and I keep bringing it up.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so I won't spoil anything. I guess this isn't a spoiler. It's just, when you watch a show and it has like a mystery box and you think like, oh, great, I'm going to have to spend like 3 seasons. And then it's like, and here's what's in the mystery box.
I think you told me about this last week, I think.
Yeah. And that actually hits my dopamine higher when a show or a movie dangles something that you think to yourself like, oh great, this is going to be the whole movie, and then they're like, and it's resolved.
And they tell you what it is, yeah.
And then it makes you go like, oh shit, you got more.
You got more? Yeah, that's a good writing tip for any writers listening. Is giving your readers little rewards like that is really enticing.
Yeah,
it's like, fuck, there's going to be more than this? Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Challenge yourself to the ending and then go like, but what if there's more ending? Don't write 3-hour-long movies necessarily, but like, it's fun to like bring someone to what feels like a conclusion and then go, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys 2.
Yeah. Build a great big build a great big secret mystery box and then open it in Act 1.
Yeah. And then just let it, and then see where you go with it. Which is even more fun for a TV show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I guess that's what I'm saying, which this felt like you can do that emotionally, too.
Yeah.
Where it's like you set up something. I always think of weird references, Snakes on a Plane. There's a scene where he's like, don't let anybody into first class. And it seems like they're setting up a big conflict between Samuel Jackson and Lord knows who played the main character.
That guy.
And that guy, where he's like, don't let anybody into first class. You can't do that. And then he lets people into first class. And I thought like, oh, this is going to be a big blow up between him and Samuel L. It's going to be like a conflict. And Samuel looks at him and he goes like, that's fine. You did what you had to do. And they move on. And it like, that was a dopamine hit for me where I was like, oh, I'm glad they didn't do that. I didn't need that.
That is another dopamine hit. Like when you see competent people solving a problem together in a movie, like you're like, yeah. Like it's like watching a courtroom drama with really good lawyers.
Right. And this kind of does that where the first time they talk it out, they kind of do the like, forget it. We're good. We're cool. Yeah. We have bigger things to deal with. It's fine. We'll work it out. We'll go to therapy. We'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
Like it's that feeling. And I was just like, that's all I needed. That was perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it gave me that dopamine hit, and then it kind of took it away where they're like, shit, they're still fighting about it.
They don't move the ball forward in enough of those scenes. I agree.
Yeah. But it all ends up good.
Yeah, it wraps up, and like I said, I appreciate that they made the character believably frustrating. I could see somebody hitting it as being frustrating from a writing perspective, like the character is being like obtuse in an unrealistic way, but I didn't find it unrealistic. Like that's something that particularly a young person stays mad about, particularly in a family, anyway.
It's one of those things I'd be more mad at if I didn't like the movie,
Right, yeah.
The movie is an hour 40, it doesn't drag. That sort of stuff is like whatever. Like it's the movie, there's the end of the movie is them walking out. She gets her cigarette.
Walking
the sister
out dressed
sees
like
her
Morticia.
Sword. Yeah, the sister sees her sword and just picks it up. And I'm like, shouldn't they be like? This is like they should be falling apart. This is like their own personal 9/11. Like she should be traumatized. But it's like that's the sort of shit where it's like, that's no fun. we're having fun, right?
They've
Have
been
her
through
pick up
some
the
shit.
sword. Have them be two badass sisters walking
Yeah.
up into the sunset. That's every horror movie where it's like,
it ends with them like muttering to each other, like throwing zingers at each other, like the end of Die Hard with a Vengeance. Like she's like, I
Right.
think I need to go to a fucking hospital. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's an action. Again, John McClane at the end of Die Hard should be like, I'm so scared. Oh my fucking god.
oh my god!
But it's like, no,
oh my god!
we're
I almost
doing an
died.
action
I
movie.
almost died.
Yeah,
That
it's an
Carl
action
guy knew
movie.
karate. Oh no!
Yeah. That is why I appreciate the Evil Dead movies, because Bruce Campbell goes insane during
Mm-hmm.
them, and that's really fun to me. Is like,
It's a
When
subversion of slashers, right? He's like a person that got sick of being the victim,
yeah,
but to the point where he's just crazy now. Yeah.
yeah. Where so like more specifically, the original ending of Army of Darkness, which I get why they changed the
It's a
ending.
bummer, but yeah.
But I love that version where he's like cry laughing.
Yeah.
And you're like, that is how it ends for
That's
Ash.
Ash, yeah.
But yeah,
It's him laughing with all the fucking mounted heads in the cabin.
yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But again, this isn't, I mean, Army of Darkness is an action movie, but this isn't, that's why I'm like, I don't know. This is like a budding new genre ish. Because it's like we've always had like revenge, I spit on your grave.
I spit on your
and
grave, yeah.
But those
Last
were
House
always
on the Left.
Those were always way crueler.
Yes.
And were
yeah.
horror movies. Whereas this is like, it feels purely like an action film. It
This is
feels
like
like it's,
I would call this action horror, yeah.
yeah, it feels like it is taking up the slot in my head that Die Hard takes. Where that's why I had that delightful realization of like, I guess we are still making mid-budget action films. We just have to call them horror.
They're just slasher movies now, yeah.
Yeah. We just have to pretend it's that, so like production companies will greenlight them, I guess. And there's so many of these the same way there were so many. Let's get this honky to fight a bunch of terrorists.
Yeah.
It's like, again, there's 2 out right now. Although They Will Kill You, I'm assuming is that. Maybe it's a completely different movie than what's out.
Right, we haven't seen it yet, yeah. So.
But it's just, and then The Hunt. How many? There's a handful of these. Of this.
That's
new
right. That's
era.
right. I forgot about Betty Gilpin in The Hunt. That
Yeah.
she's specifically the wrong person to fuck with.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of these where it's like varying degrees of competence, but
Mm-hmm.
ultimately it's a lady killing a bunch of people in a small space.
Yeah, a lady that everybody sort of underestimated.
Yeah. Wrong place, wrong time.
Mhm. Wrong place, wrong time, 100%.
Yeah. And it just, yeah, this is so many action films.
I mean,
before.
it's the one. It's literally called Revenge, but that one's way more of
Oh, yeah.
I Spit on Your Grave type revenge movie.
Yeah.
But the back half of it is pretty close to an action movie. Well,
yeah.
sort of. No, it's more.
That other genre still kind of exists. Then
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
Strange
that's
Darling.
close
Strange
to that one.
Darling.
Man,
I gotta
Strange
watch that
Darling.
again. That's a fucking ride. Yeah. But this even there are funny henchmen. There's
Yeah.
literally an I'm invincible guy. Like there's a guy at the end who's like, I made it. And they're like, no, you didn't.
explodes,
Like
yeah.
they're comic reliefs. Like there are like, it's all the dynamics of henchmen. Like where you have your Hans Gruber.
The
you have
cousin
your
with the
sidekick.
martini.
Yeah. You have like, all those, that like array that's just getting picked off and killing each other and betraying each other.
And the mini boss usurping the main boss is a familiar trope.
I think Die Hard with a Vengeance, where they betray the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's full of that.
Yeah. It all it's very much, it's so much that where it's like, I want to sit down. Like I feel like I could do a video essay about all the ways these two match up, but I'm not going to do that.
I think you
because
should,
that
Dave.
takes time.
Put it on the network.
No, I don't want
A
to.
lot of work.
But you know what I mean? Where it's like, and I'm so happy because like there was a little while there where I was like, I guess we're not doing Die Hard anymore.
Right. Or we're just gonna make weird like direct to DVD versions of them in Eastern Europe that are
that they're kind of
shoestring
like
budgets with like a gun, and all the action is just gunfights with muzzle flashes put in After Effects.
Right.
It's very bad action movies.
We talked about this with 28 Years Later, which I won't spoil anything about that series, but I'm realizing that horror is now becoming like the peanut butter that they're putting the medicine in.
Yeah.
Which is that, like, if you can make it a horror movie, you can give someone a drama, an action movie, a love story. Like, that's what we're realizing is, like, horror is really hot right now, that, like, there is a built-in audience.
They always goes to see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can, it's like the last mid-budget genre where it's like, yeah, we can make this for like 40 million.
That was always the thing, right? Like one of the ways to break in back in the day in like the 70s, 80s was making a low budget horror movie, because horror movies are the genre that you can make with a relatively low budget and still be successful, where it still looks good enough to be successful.
Right. And I do think the dynamic will change. I think audiences are changing. For example, the Oak Street, the It Follows guy movie, that's just like, you want to watch some fucking Spielberg again, motherfuckers? And everybody's like, hell yeah.
Kind of do, yeah.
That still looks a little mid-budget, but it doesn't look like, they're not trying to sell it as horror, which is interesting, because they could have, but they, they don't. You know what's the funniest version of this is? And this isn't actually a modern example, but The Exorcism of Emily Rose is the funniest version of let's all sit down for a horror movie. Just
it's
kidding.
A courtroom drama.
You're watching a courtroom drama.
You're watching fucking A Few Good Men.
Which was a delight for me. Yeah. More of that, please. More of hidden courtroom dramas and horror films.
What an incredible film.
Yeah, that movie, like, what a bold thing to do. Oh, man. But yeah, like, what other genre do you want to see get like mixed with?
Man, we saw a rom-com, like.
Yeah, we have, and it worked. It's hard to think of like
family comedy. I think let's try a family
comedy. Yeah, I think that is definitely the way to go. And we've gotten a little of that. We watched Us recently. That's technically a family comedy.
It's kind of a family comedy, yeah.
Yeah, there's comedy in it. There's family.
And there's a couple of families, yeah.
Yeah. I want. Oh, okay. So I need to qualify this a little bit. I want Emmerich style disaster film, but not because like naturally you do zombies. That's what the horror equivalent is. Not zombies.
Do
Cthulhu, or I want like Volcano, because you know what's scary?
They're just
Tom?
hell coming up through the earth.
Yeah. Well, you know what's scary?
What's scary?
Lava.
Lava's pretty scary. Yeah.
Just make a horror, like, I don't know.
Oh, so you just mean make a disaster movie, but make it as a horror movie.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Or do Cthulhu, or do like there's ghosts in the lava, something. But like
haunted lava.
I guess the point is to make people think they're sitting down for a horror movie, and then by the end go like, oh, I guess that was a disaster movie.
Yeah,
that's the goal, right? So it would have to be like haunted somehow, and then by the end it's.
I kicked around for a long time the idea of a Cthulhu disaster movie, because you could do it in all sorts of stages. Like there's the psychic damage, there's people having bad dreams, you got cultists running around, you got
Max Brooks could write a Cthulhu like World War Z.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, it's baffling that there isn't a Cthulhu movie.
I've said that a lot.
Yeah. Be the change you want to see in the world, Tom. Is it public domain?
Yes.
Okay, that's what. Just making sure. Yeah, that's baffling to me that there isn't like. Yeah.
In certain contexts, Cthulhu is public domain, I believe.
Yeah.
There's a couple of like
Frankenstein.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like I think there's a couple of like tabletop properties and things like that. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's where you do disaster, I guess. I'm trying to think of other genres. So many genres.
There's a lot. We don't have to do them all today.
That's true. Coming of age.
Awakenings.
Oh, wait. There is coming of age.
There's
coming
a lot.
of age is 28 years later. It does coming of age. Yeah.
There's a couple of them. But yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
there
good recent example.
Yeah. All right. We don't have to talk anymore.
I think we're done
unless you
here.
have any other thoughts.
No, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're probably expecting if you've seen the first one. And that's what I love about Radio Silence is that they're delivering. They have these movies where they go like, this is what it's going to be. Isn't that fun? And then you watch it and you go like, yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was very fun. Thank you.
And even then, I was still pleasantly surprised by this one.
Yeah.
It did more than I expected it to.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Very good movie.
Yeah.
Very fun. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you so much.
I guess I will tell you about our Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. For just $5 a month, you get so many exclusive podcasts on our Patreon. You can only find them on there. Tom and Jeff Watch Batman. I don't even know how many episodes of that there. I think there's like
Over 300. Over 300.
Over 300.
Yeah.
Fox Mulder's a Maniac, the complete series. We covered the complete series of the X-Files. Star Trek: The Next Futurama, which is talking about Star Trek and Futurama. Spiel Boys about Spielberg.
We've covered every movie so far until
Yep, we're gonna have to.
What's it? Disclosure Day this summer.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out some arrangements for that.
I know. Yeah.
Himboos, our supernatural podcast that's still cooking. I think we're on season 2.
Season 2. Yeah, we got quite a ways to go with the Winchester Boys.
Yeah, we watch movies every Friday night. Also on our Patreon, you can kick in a little more to join us for that on our Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And we have other tiers that are delightful and great and cool. So yeah, do that. Check it out.
Yeah, man, you can commission your own podcast too.
You can.
We also have a store. Head over to GameFullyUnemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Dave is actually wearing one of our shirts right now with Michael Vincent Bramley's artwork on it. It's Mulder punching E.T. in the face.
Yep, and saying, "Where's my sister?
Where's my sister?"
Yeah.
Punching the Reese's Pieces right out of his mouth, right out of his extraterrestrial mouth.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of our shirts, you don't even they aren't like. You don't even have to like be referenced. They don't reference the podcast.
No.
You know what I mean? Where it's just shirts you can wear.
Check them out. A lot of the designs are completely self-contained. You don't need to be even a fan of our shows.
Yeah.
To enjoy them. But please rate and review our podcast wherever you're listening. And also follow our other show feed, Badical, BADICAL, wherever you are listening. I'm going to be adding more episodes to that soon.
Woo-hoo!
Soon. Got lots of fun stuff planned for the rest of the year, Dave. It's only March.
I know. And that is thanks to, I don't know, Satan.
Yeah. Hail Satan. It's good to be back.
We're trying to court Satan. I'd get in on this.
I want one of these deals. Come on, man.
Satan, if you're listening, I know you are.
I know you are.
Hit us up.
We see you every month on the patron list. Don't think you're being sly. We noticed.
Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as the Corlew or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at artnessbyjustinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at starlenearts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.